Alright guys, welcome back to Atmosphere Tactics and Gear. Today we're going to do just a little tutorial on how I like to do my own, I guess you could say DIY, some stipple job and a little bit of Dremel work. Now this is really easy to do, you just need the right tools to do it and the know-how to do it. I've done a couple of these now myself and I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting better and better each and every time. It obviously is one of those things that practice makes perfect. So we're going to be working on this Glock 17 Gen 4. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do, which most of you probably won't have to do this, really like an aggressive grip texture, and Talon grips, they do make like a granule, like almost like a skateboard tape, really aggressive grip texturing. This is the rubberized one, and this is more ideal for like carry, for concealed carry, just so that you know, it's not so abrasive and constantly rubbing on your waistline or your shirt or anything like that. But okay, so there's not much for residue on the frame at all, so that's good. We don't really have to clean it up at all. So the first thing that we are going to do is go ahead, we should have did this already, but I knew that the gun was unloaded, but you guys don't know that, so I want to show you guys that the gun is unloaded. Then we're going to decompress the trigger, and we're just going to take the slide off, because we aren't going to be doing anything with the slide, so we're just going to put that off to the side. Slide to the side. Alright, cool. Just a top from a tote that I have. And then you're going to want to get yourself an extra pair of safety glasses. And the reason for the safety glasses and the lid or some sort of tray is because there's going to be particles of polymer flying all over the place once we start grinding some of this stuff away with the Dremel. This is just a standard conventional Dremel kit. I've got, I don't even know what grit this is, but I've used it several times now. I don't even think I've changed it out or done anything else with this Dremel other than just shaving polymer parts down. For guns, first things first, we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're going to shave these grooves down, put a double undercut underneath the trigger guard, and then we should be in good shape. We'll see how things progress, and I'll kind of walk you guys through it as I go along, and then we'll be all set, ready for stippling after we make our cuts. Okay, that's looking a little straighter. I don't care about what it looks like. It's all about functionality. And as you can see, we're getting flakes of polymer all over the place here. Now we're going to move our way into the trigger guard, underneath the trigger guard area, and shave some material off of there. So now, now that you have your grip, which there is a little bit of indentation there yet, but that's okay because that'll get corrected with, it's not completely flat, but that's going to get corrected once we start using our heat gun and stippling this area. So let's clean ourselves up real quick. I'm going to dust myself off, get the tray out of here, clean that up, wash my hands, and then blow down the gun, and we'll get back to it. Also, on a side note, if you guys have a can of this laying around, this is going to be one of your best friends to just get this stuff, all that polymer on the inside all blown out and cleaned up. Real fast and easy way to move on to the next step. This is our controller for the heat gun. This is the heat gun itself, otherwise known as a wood burning kit on like Amazon or whatever. But so I'm going to use a larger tip at first. I'm going to try to cover the surface area of all of this, and then we are going to go through our border with a smaller tip. This smaller tip is going to be used for the more defined areas. Also, I'm going to put some texturing here on the thumb rest, just so I can get a purchase on my, for my thumb there, because I'm a thumbs forward shooter. Let it warm up. See the numbers jumping up. I do recommend using a respirator for this part. I'm not going to be using one because I'm an idiot. I'm just going to turn my fan on to kind of blow the fumes out of my working area. But we're going to let that heat gun, we're at 700. degrees. We're approaching 800 now. Once we get to a solid 850, we'll get started. Alright, so we're at about 850 now. And I'll go ahead and sit back down here, get comfortable, and got about, I would say 20 minutes of this. I'm going to fast forward the video in high speed just to get through this, but just kind of show you guys what we got going on. So this is what the first side is going to look like, and that's already adding a nice aggressive texture. You can see that we are burning the excess polymer off of the heat gun now, so you want to go ahead and kind of let that smoke settle, burn it off that tip because you want good contact. You don't want to have a messy, tip that's all covered in extra polymer when you're stamping your next side. Alright, so this is where we're at so far. Now we do have some missing gaps, obviously. It's not perfect. Right here I could have been a little tighter this way so I could have fit another row in. Again, not perfect, but it's functional. It feels great in my hand. It feels spectacular. I am very, very thrilled with the texturing of it. It's very aggressive texturing. So go ahead, turn the heat gun off, and we're going to let it cool down for a second, and then we're going to switch over to this tip here. Alright, so I had to wait a little while. This tip right here is still pretty warm. I had to take it off with a rag. I think we're warm enough to let it rip. So now we're just going to create a border. It's going to kind of, doesn't have to be anything crazy, but we're just going to create some holes. Go ahead and shut our heat gun off. And here's kind of the finished product. Again, our lines aren't perfectly straight. They kind of look a little honeycombed, but it's about the texturing. I did go ahead and add some just above here, added some above here, and then I even filled in some of the spacing that I messed up on over here with the bigger tip, the wider tip. And then I put some underneath the trigger guard. I didn't want too much under here. I just wanted enough that, the front of my finger could grab. I don't want texturing right here where it's going to be rubbing on the back of my finger constantly. I did not want that. So I just put enough right there. We can go ahead, put our slide back on, and we have ourselves a stippled block. Got rid of those annoying finger grooves, and it feels great in my hand. It feels amazing. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and hopefully this video helped you guys out. Maybe you can give it a try yourself at home and see what you can come up with. Until the next video, guys, you guys stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll catch you in the next one.